A software glitch causes delays at airports across the country, including the Dane County Regional Airport. And voters will head to the polls tomorrow throughout Wisconsin. We're going over some of the races in our area.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Monday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit, but first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. The chill remains in the air out there.
The chill does remain in the air, and this is no April Fool's joke, Mark. We had some snow around here this morning. I got plenty of text messages about it if you didn't notice it. And here's Weather Track just showing you the past 12 hours here, how that snow worked its way on through, and now that's moving on out of here. In the meantime, the ice continues to melt on Lake Mendota. The temperature 44 degrees, and we do have a strong wind coming out of the south at 18 miles per hour. Sustained winds of 28 miles per hour in Dubuque. So as you work your way south and west, it is downright windy. We're going to keep that strong south wind around as we go into the afternoon, and that's going to keep those temperatures well warmer than 24 hours ago. We're already 10 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago, 13 degrees warmer as you work your way towards the south and west. That is where we do see those temperatures into the mid and upper 40s, even some 50s showing up. 50 in Boscobel right now. Again, we're at 44 here in Madison, but all of us are tapping into some of that warmer air across the Midwest right now, kind of streaming its way towards the north. But I do think the cloud cover is going to limit just how far we are able to warm. So those temperatures will likely warm up another 4 degrees or so towards 48 as we move into the afternoon. And do expect cloud cover to stick around, along with the slightest chance of some showers overnight and towards tomorrow morning. But of course, we are tracking even more chances for rain in that forecast, Mark. I'll be breaking that down in just a bit.
Well, April Fools for Mother Nature today.
Yes, it was.
All right, thanks, Chris. Several major U.S. airlines were reported malfunctions with flight planning software today. This led to some delays across the country, including for some flights at the Dane County Regional Airport here in Madison. The FAA said the issue involved a third-party vendor that provides weight and balance software. Airlines use this to determine flight plans and make fuel calculations, among other things. The issue is not believed to have put any passengers in danger. Southwest, Delta, and American Airlines all experienced delays. Well, tomorrow is Election Day in Wisconsin, and there's one statewide race on the ballot. Brian Hagedorn and Lisa Neubauer are running to serve on the Supreme Court. They are replacing retiring Justice Shirley Abramson. A significant amount of money has been poured into what's technically a nonpartisan race, as those on the right try to expand the conservative majority on the court, while those on the left hope to take the majority with the next two elections. Hagedorn has been criticized for comments he made about Planned Parenthood in a blog post in 2005, while Neubauer has been endorsed by that organization. Both candidates say they would not let their personal views or other potential conflicts get in the way of their decisions on the bench.
The real question is, do you understand your job is to set aside the law, or set aside your views and follow the law? And again, my opponent and nobody else can point to any time where I've done anything other than that.
For every decision I make on the Supreme Court, I want to come to it with an open mind, no agenda, no ideology, no bias, no predetermined outcomes.
Our Rose Schmidt sat down with both Supreme Court candidates, and you can find more of those interviews on our politics page on Channel3000.com. Middleton voters will decide whether their stormwater bill should triple to help the city make repairs from last summer's flooding. The city counted more than $5 million in damage to its stormwater management facilities during all of that rain. The referendum asked if homeowners are willing to pay $45 for their stormwater utility charge instead of the current rate of $15 through the year 2024. The city might also get some help from FEMA, though it's not clear yet how much. And those in the Milton School District will decide whether or not to pass a $60 million referendum. Voters will decide if the district can borrow that money to make facility improvements to all of its schools except for Northside Intermediate. That includes meeting ADA requirements, adding spaces for math, science, and technology classes, and renovating common areas. The district held an open house over the weekend to answer questions the public might have about the referendum.
I hope people keep an open mind. Because what makes a school district function well is if you continue to add students and you can continually change your programming and have enough room to do things the way education has changed.
For homeowners, the referendum would raise property taxes about $164 per $100,000 of property value. Milton voters have rejected 2 referendums in the past 3 years. The Trump administration, that is, says the president's threat to shut down the border with Mexico is no bluff. Customs and Border Protection says the immigration system is past the breaking point because of a surge of families from Central America asking for asylum. The president criticized Democrats and Mexico yesterday, tweeting, "Homeland Security is being so very nice, but not for long." Critics say shutting down the border also threatens billions of dollars in trade. Trade between Mexico and Texas along the El Paso border alone totaled more than $80 billion last year. Many people cross to work every day. President Trump is expected to visit the border city on Friday, making a stop in Calexico, California. Police are reminding Uber users to make sure they are getting into the right car following the death of a South Carolina college student. 21-year-old Samantha Josephson got into the wrong car early Friday morning, mistaking it for the Uber ride she called. Hunters found her body later that day, about 65 miles away in a remote wooded area. Early Saturday morning, police pulled over 24-year-old Nathaniel Rowland after spotting him driving the same model car Samantha got in about the same area. After a brief foot chase, he was arrested. Inside the vehicle, officers say they found lots of evidence: window cleaner, bleach, and the victim's cell phone. Police say the child safety locks were activated. Rowland will remain in jail until his bond hearing, and he's charged with kidnapping and murder. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It's April Fool's Day, and we have a way to fool your gang with a dessert that starts with, let's just say, something that no one would expect. No one. Today, we're making pickled pig's feet. I'm just kidding. Happy April Fool's Day. It's not exactly a national holiday, but I want to make sure you're aware of it so you aren't the one getting fooled. On the other hand, if you're looking for a tasty way to fool your friends and family, tonight we have a Fool 'em black bean brownie recipe that would be just perfect. Here's how to make it. We start by combining a can of drained black beans in a blender or food processor with some cocoa, a couple of eggs, sugar, a bit of milk, canola oil, and a splash of balsamic vinegar. Yes, vinegar. And to make these rise, we'll add a little baking powder, baking soda, and salt. We give it a whirl, and once everything is smooth, stir in some chocolate chips. This gets poured into a baking dish and popped into the oven to bake until the center is set. They'll never guess that you left out the flour and added black beans. Once they're done telling you how tasty these are, be sure to let them know that they've been fooled and that it's the black beans that gives the brownies its fudgy texture. To get the recipe for our Fool 'em black bean brownies, all you have to do is check out our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a foolishly delicious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, thank you, Howard. We have a slight chance for showers this afternoon. Chris Reese joins us after the break with our first alert forecast. Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issue. You can call our hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial's up 254 points. The NASDAQ up 74, almost 75, and the S&P 500 up 24. Wow, let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee. No fooling on those numbers today.
Right, no fooling over there. It might feel like I'm fooling them, though, today here with my grain numbers because we're up double digits on the midday as far as soybeans. Some of this, Mark, is the rebound that we would have expected after Friday's USDA prospective planting report. Those numbers were quite big compared to what the trade had expected. So we were giving it up on Friday. Today we're gaining it back, at least to a certain extent. Like I said, everybody's still pretty optimistic about what's going to be happening between the United States and China. They wrapped up their conversations in Beijing last week, and now the Chinese delegation is going to be on its way back to Washington, D.C. to continue the conversation. So traders are suddenly feeling, again, optimistic that we'll get something done maybe by the end of the month. We're kind of also watching the river traffic on the Mississippi start to resume a little bit more normal pattern. I think there's still plenty of ice in certain spots, but at least as far as the flooding is concerned, we've gotten through a good chunk of that problem. And now we're just trying to get those rail tracks back in place for a lot of the Midwest as far as grain transportation. Dairy markets today in Chicago, all three trending just a little bit lower for today's trade. We've got our barrel cheese down 1 1/4 penny at $1.59. 40-pound block cheese down 1/2 today at $1.64. AA butter, that's also down 1/2, $2.25 a pound, but still holding fairly firm for this, the first day of April. And that, as you say, no fooling. That's where we stand for today.
It's hard to believe it's April already.
Well, you know, I did start to see some wheat fields or some rye fields starting to green up over the weekend. So even the plants seem to be optimistic about what's coming our way. So long as Chris can deliver. I heard his little tease about snowflakes out there. Yeah, it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility.
I didn't see him, but apparently a few fell. All right. Thank you, Pam. Chris is here now with a look at the forecast. Maybe a shower today.
Perhaps now that things have warmed up. We did have a little bit of snow out there this morning, but things are much warmer this afternoon as opposed to when we first woke up. And over the past 24 hours, we've seen a warming in our temperatures as well. Now 10 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago here in town. Prairie du Chien, 14 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. And a lot of us are seeing those temperatures into the 40s and even some 50s starting to work their way into town. 44 in Madison right now, 46 in Mineral Point, Platteville at 48, Boscobel and Prairie du Chien have made it towards 50 degrees this afternoon. Hard to believe that there's still ice on the lake, but it is melting away on Lake Mendota, and those winds are coming out of the south at 18 miles per hour. That's really going to help warm up the air just a little bit, but it does create a wind chill. It feels like 36 because of these winds that are howling out of the south. In Platteville, sustained winds at 26 miles per hour, and then you work your way towards Dubuque, where those sustained winds are near 30 miles per hour. Any gusts, of course, could be even stronger. Here's what we have going on. This is actually responsible for that little wave of snow that moved through earlier, but now that warming air is taking over. We have a region of low pressure just to our south and west. That has a warm front on the north side of it, so that's bringing in those warmer temperatures. High pressure towards our south and east. These together do provide warmer air overall, but eventually we're going to see another cold front work its way on through. That is going to bring more rain chances along with a little flake chance, but we're not going to get all that cold because the southerly wind is going to take over once again because there's more systems to track towards the weekend. So here's how things will play out as we go through the rest of your Monday, topping out around 48 this afternoon. Again, folks, it is going to be very breezy with those winds coming out of the south. Overnight, we're going to watch a little stripe of rain and snow develop to our north. That's going to work its way towards the south. So snow is possible in places such as Westfield or up in Marquette County. You work your way over towards Juneau and Adams counties. It is possible, but I do think a lot of us are going to be on the rain side of that from Madison and Point South. And it's not going to be heavy rain. It is going to be a quick hitting rain that works its way on through. Then Tuesday afternoon, more sunshine, westerly winds, and that is when we'll see those temperatures top out right around 53 degrees or so, and really staying into the 50s throughout Tuesday evening. And then we'll see the next little cold front work its way on through here before we clear things out, at least briefly, into Wednesday. Now, Wednesday night into Thursday, here's one model showing the next system rolling into town. It is possible that the leading edge of that may produce some snow, just as we'll have retreating cold air. But the thing is, that's retreating cold air. So even if you see any snowflakes, it's going to go over to rain rather quickly. And again, that's a quick hitting system. Before we clear things out by the weekend, again, more southerly wind flow, and check out these temperatures returning into the low and even middle and upper 60s, trying to make themselves known. What we have going on is warmer air that is going to be developing across the west and really building in as we work our way into the weekend. That's why over the next 10 days, we're really going to watch those temperatures take a run at 70. I don't know if we're actually going to get there, but it will be close. Again, 48 degrees this afternoon, but then we begin to see those temperatures stay above average by next Tuesday, perhaps 66 degrees. A couple stretches of sunshine will be in the mix as well.
We'll get there eventually.
Yes, we will. We're working on it.
Thanks, Chris. Now's the time to call with your plant and garden questions. 270-9933. The number to call. Lisa Briggs is here. She'll be taking your calls right after this. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here taking your calls at 270-9933. We're sort of in that limbo time.
I know everybody wants to get outside and do something. I did plant some bulbs last week. I planted some lily bulbs. So my ground was workable.
Yeah,
so
I think the frost may be out.
I think if you're, on a south side or something, you could probably do a little bit of planting some pansies or something.
In the meantime, enjoy houseplants.
Yeah, well, this is a Martha Washington geranium. A lot of people use this as a summer annual, and these are campanula, and those are actually hardy here. So they could go in when the weather's a little tiny bit nicer, maybe after the weekend.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right, patience, folks. Let's go to the phones. We'll start with Steve in Madison. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
What can we do about all the boll damage that happened this winter?
So voles or moles?
Boll.
With a V.
V-O-L.
Okay. So voles are little tiny, kind of like mouse-like creatures, and they like to do girdling, which is they eat the bark around the base of plants. So when you look at where they did the damage on branches or trunks, if it goes all the way around, that's what we call girdling, and anything that's above that point is gone. So all you can do is take it out and replace it. If there's enough of the plant left, you can maybe fertilize it and get it to put on some extra growth. In the meantime, next year, winter, there's some barrier things that you could do and also some repellents. But once the damage is done, it's not really fixable, unfortunately.
That's too bad. All right, John in Madison. Hi, John.
Hi, we live in an apartment and we're facing south, and I never have any good tomatoes anymore. And I had a great aunt that used to plant Better Boy or Big Boy, and I want to plant some on the patio, but the squirrels and all the animals get into those pots, and I can't do anything. I'm wondering, what do you do so that you can plant things and have a pot out on your patio and not have raccoons? And I know she used to put blood meal or something like that on her things out in her garden, but I don't know for sure if that would work.
Well, blood meal is it's a smell repellent, and so animals that would be considered prey will smell it and be scared away. You can use other repellents. There are a number of them on the market that are good for that kind of thing. You put it in the soil because they tend to start digging first. Also, if you got like some chicken wire or some rabbit fence, you could put it around your plant instead of a tomato cage, right inside the pot, and that will keep them away as well.
Okay, yeah, just
Yeah.
something bad to taste.
Yes.
All right, Teresa in Madison. Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
What's your question?
I had roses right out by my patio here, and I usually cut them down to about a foot. I didn't do that last fall, and now they're real tall. I'm wondering, can I still cut them down this spring so they start, or do I?
You can certainly cut them down this spring. That's fine. Actually, we recommend spring pruning for roses instead of fall pruning. Wait till they start to bud, though, and you see about a ½ inch of growth, and then you can cut them back just above a bud that is expanding.
Okay, so actually now's the time to do it.
Probably a couple more weeks yet till you start to see some active growth.
All right, Amy in Monroe. Hi, Amy.
Hi, I was wondering the best type of topsoil to use to grow a spider plant indoors.
You just want a really good, well-drained, what we would call a potting soil. They don't have any real dirt in them. It's just a mixture, and it's well-draining and really good for any kind of houseplant.
So not even soil.
It's not even soil.
All right, there you go. We're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air. We'll see you next time.
Indeed.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Here's Chris with one final check of your forecast.
Some cloud cover sticks around this afternoon. We may see a little bit of shower activity. That's a real slight chance. I think most of us are just going to be dealing with cloud cover for the rest of this afternoon. Temperatures will be topping out right around 48 degrees. A slight shower chance in the morning on Tuesday before some sunshine Tuesday afternoon. That's when you'll see highs around 53. We keep those 50s into Wednesday. A little cool down on Thursday before we begin to rebound things again into the weekend. The good news is your weekend is full of sunshine right now, and temperatures in the mid and perhaps upper 60s.
Here's something to look forward to. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 5, or at 4, that is. Have a good afternoon.